We are here for the epic playoff preview season review. What are your kind of overall thoughts of the season, guys? How you feeling? Let's go to EVW first. I mean, how do you feel you did this season? Was it better than you expected? Worse than you expected? Was it as fun as you expected? Not as fun as you expected? What are kind of your thoughts on the season?
This was it was an incredible experience for me. This is my first time in any kind of Mario Maker League or anything of the sort. I joined in and I really liked it. Like, all I wanted to do was kind of have fun during the season. I didn't expect to be where I'm at now. Like, judging from the roster of names that I knew previously, like I knew a lot of these people just because they're streamers and whatnot. And I did not expect to make playoffs. I just wanted to enjoy myself in the league. And it just turned out so fun. And I got really engrossed in it. And I found myself practicing a bit, off camera and whatnot, just to improve my skills, because I was so, I was just enthralled with the whole experience. It was really fun because it kind of, me streaming Mario Maker 2 and making videos for it, this just legitimized it in myself. Like, I felt like what I was doing was what I do on YouTube and Twitch was kind of more important than it is, just because the league made it feel like I'm part of something bigger than myself. It was really good. Yeah.
Wow. That's a good answer for sure. How about you, Murphy?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I mean, as far as like confidence or how I feel about how things are going to go, I'm pretty indifferent. I think it's like all I know how to do is play the game the way I know how to play it. And I don't know what I plan on getting into here as far as discussion goes, but the interesting part about this is you don't really know where the other player is or what they're doing. Like, even if you know how they play, everyone has different days, how they handle different levels. So it's kind of interesting to just throw yourself into it, see how it goes. And like Eric was saying, just have fun with it.
Cool. How about you, Oshi? Finish this up here.
So, I mean, as far as expectations went, like, I don't know. I feel like I underperformed this year, but maybe last year I either got really lucky, or like this year, in our division, we had some like really, really high tier players. So I don't know, maybe tougher competition this year, I feel like that's an actual thing, but I'm kind of like with Murphy, where like I just play the game the way I know how to play it, and if it works out, it works out. And if not, I try and have as much fun as I possibly can with it. But to go back to the core of the question, like, how do I feel with my performance this year? I got to say I was a little disappointed in myself.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
I guess you could say it's not entirely surprising, because last year when you came on late, about 3/4 of the way through the season, I believe, and you were just like a buzzsaw. Just, man, it was like incredible. Like, Oshi was a real
it was unreal.
force. It was like real
good.
It was like an X Factor. I said before the playoffs, X Factor Oshi's coming in, could take down the big dogs here. But yeah, this season was definitely more middle of the pack. Of course, you made the playoffs, so you can't complain there. But next thing I like to ask, though, since I have you guys here, and it's not like the last minute interview after the game. So what do you think of the format, right? How did you think it played this year? I know EVW, this is your first time through this league, but the other two guys, I know you guys have played the previous format. So did you think it was an improvement, or is there anything we can improve in that? What do you think, Oshi?
Oh, I get to start. Okay. Well,
yeah.
So last format, I remember cursing the last format, because I think in my playoff match, I had like my semifinals, I think I did so bad, and I blamed the RNG so hard because I skipped like 6 or 7 levels in a row. And I remember thinking, this is awful. And then we got this new format, and I was like, oh, this is going to be great. We're all going to be playing the same levels. We're all going to be playing and I kind of missed the old format. I kind of like that element of like, you didn't know, because like, it's completely random and it's not fair. So, I mean, I could never say it was fair, but I don't know. It was a little bit more dynamic, and I feel like the viewer got a little bit more out of it too.
What do you think, Murphy?
I actually did not do the previous format. This is actually my first introduction in general to the GSA Expert League season. So I didn't watch last season. I didn't know what the format was, but I did have qualifiers.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of had a preview and played a little bit of this format before the season started. So that was a little bit, not necessarily an advantage, but a heads up on what was going on. I think we had 5 skips instead of 3.
Yeah.
In qualifiers. but I like it in general. I mean, from a viewer standpoint, seeing how the different players handle the same level sets is very nice. But all the speculation that goes on as far as like how to improve it or what to switch around with it, I honestly have no suggestions. I just like playing. I think it's fun that there's an organized format for us to play competitively, and I'm willing to deal with whatever you guys throw at us.
Cool. How about you, VW? Anything to add there?
Well, like Murphy, it's my first time with the format, but I thought it was great. I really like having the same set of levels. I did watch some of last season, and seeing some of the matches with the RNG, like even the final match between Little Curbs and the Beast, you could see that element of RNG. And while you're watching that, you're thinking to yourself, oh man, RNG got him, and you're not thinking, wow, he got outplayed, right? That's not really crossing your mind when you're looking at the old format. But in this situation, a lot of the times when you're watching a match, you think, oh no, he misused a skip there, or he skipped too late, and that is a player fault. It's not an element of RNG, and it's really interesting to see how players go through the same level. And I really enjoyed taking part in the season. I don't know how you could make it better. I'm sure there's a way, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, It was really interesting.
For me, I was like the strongest supporter of last season's like how the format was last season. Endless skips. You just play the levels to come, because like I felt it added some randomness to it. Like it wasn't like, well, the best player is playing the worst player. The worst player kind of had more of a chance in that format. And this format is one thing. The one negative of it is, and you guys probably don't think it's negative, is there's way less upsets. Like they don't really happen very often at all. So that's kind of one negative part, I should say. One thing I want to say though is, again, like one of the main reasons I think it was changed is because there's people in chat like Oshi fans would be, let's say Oshi's playing Murphy and Oshi wins, it would be, oh, Oshi lost because RNG. And then, the next week Murphy plays Oshi and Murphy wins. Oh, Murphy lost because RNG. And we still get, those comments are still coming in though, by the way. They don't leave. It's just, there's different excuses now, like, what's one famous, one I love to see was like, Apenga was tired this match. It's like, okay, I guess that's fine. But yeah. So I think it's definitely an improvement. I think that makes the skips feel important, right? So like it's really a decision you got to make. It's not like, I know sometimes there's DGR levels, right, and you just got to say bye right away, but overall there's kind of a big decision to make, and I think that's important. There should be more of that kind of decision making.
And it's also about how fast you skip too. Like some people can see a level and immediately they go, no, that's not gonna be okay. Even if it's like a minute level, they just know that they get one Kaizo block and they're like, nope, I'm done. Like I think the rest of the level is gonna be like that, but then someone else continues to get trolled for a minute, right? So it's all about like kind of understanding the expert environment, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it gives you guys personalities of kind of different play styles, right? Because like if you're playing Super Mario 64 speedrunning competitions, everyone's got to do the same thing. There's a best way to play, and if you don't do that, you're just not doing the best way. But you guys, like, I think it's easy to say that like Enviosity is a very aggressive skipper. One Kaizo block, he's out. But you get someone like, let's say, Dragon Feeney, she's very, okay, I'm going to beat this level. I'm hunkering down here. And that kind of makes it more interesting. You see the differences of players, right? And that's kind of special. I think we should very much protect that. That's what makes this league special in competitive speedrunning, is that kind of difference of play styles it allows, because not a lot of speedrunning games can do that, right? There's a best way to play it. If you don't play that way, you're not playing the best. But anyway, I should have said before, if anyone watching this, the playoffs are starting after this is over. We're not live though. So that meme is like, we're recording this in the past, we're playing it in the present, chat's in the future, whatever. It's definitely true here. So we can't respond to the chat if you're saying some cool stuff there. Sorry about that. My next question will be, I think last week, I don't know if any of you guys saw it, a little bit of a controversy here. Not really controversy, but Penga, before each level, went to the more info tab and was checking out the levels before he played them, actually. He actually said he didn't know the rules there, so that's why he did that. He wasn't sure of the rules. He said he was super tilted. The match was meaningless anyway, so like his position was solidified where it was. But there's a little bit of conversation. Should that be allowed to check the more info tab? Because it's equal sides. Everyone gets the same information. If you choose to go to more info, you're losing time. Do you think that should be allowed? I'll start with you this time, Murphy.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, I haven't put much thought into it. I don't think a lot of this is like decision making based, when to skip, that kind of stuff. So like you kind of said, if you want to take your time to look at more info, or I don't know, even like zoom in. I know he was doing zooming in on the level stuff. Sure, knock yourself out, and maybe someone else is just plowing through a bunch more levels while you're doing that. It's really up to you, I think.
Anyone else have anything to add there? Anything different thoughts?
I don't know. I've never really thought about it. I mean, the only other really useful piece of information you're gonna get is like what the clear check time from the creator, right? So you'll know. But even if you run into like a troll level or something like that, I mean, yeah, you're gonna see a 30-second clear check time is gonna take you 6 minutes to beat it.
He was like looking at the entire map. You know what I mean? Like the map.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to say, does anybody know how much time it takes out of each level to look at that if you wanted to look? Because I know before in like the last format, skipping was 13 seconds. So if you wanted to skip, you knew you ate 13, 14 seconds.
I mean, I think it's like you could like look at, because he was like some levels he would look at it pretty hard, right? Like, let me look at the map, let me scroll right a little bit. Like it kind of depends on how much you want to get into it, right?
But if you're going to spend, like, let's say we clear on average 8 to 10 levels, and it takes you what, an extra 10 seconds? That's 80. That's like 90 seconds.
Yeah, true.
Additional stuff. So I don't know. I mean, it might be just sure. You like it with Murph said, if you're going to waste the time. I'll get 2 more level 10 level seconds or 10-second levels in there.
What do you think, EVW?
That would add that would add another layer to it, so it could make it more interesting theoretically, but it could change matches though. Like if you're constantly getting levels where there's a pipe right above the goal, like on the left side, and there's hidden blocks going up, and you see that and your opponent decides to opt not to see that, you could theoretically get ahead depending on what kind of levels there are. So it might even add an extra element of RNG if you just see that pipe above the beginning right away, right?
True.
So I'm not too sure about if I like that or not, but like Oshi said, it certainly does waste time. And if you're taking that risk and all the levels are actually legit levels without those skips, well then, you're wasting time, right?
I guess 2 points I would add is, one, it's not exactly fun to watch. Like, okay, a guy's checking on the map. It's not really cool. Like, I'm always coming from the viewer's perspective. Is like, it's not really fun. Like, you want to add that kind of, even those 30 seconds. Let's say you do it 3 times. Another thing is, you guys again probably won't like this, but people do like to watch streamers fail at stuff, right? I mean, that's YouTube is a great example of that. People like to watch failing, and if the fails are coming, or like, I know how to avoid this. I see that pole above the flagpole, so I know I got to find that kind of secret pipe. We kind of are robbed of those kind of moments. When, again, I know you guys probably don't like that, but that is kind of the fun of Mario Maker, right? Is seeing runners getting trolled and having difficult times finding the ending, right?
Yeah, I think we have to strike a good balance between what's fun for the players and what's entertaining for the viewers as well, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's always important, because again, if you guys aren't having fun, it's not going to happen very long.
Dunking on that fan base. Damn, yeah, I was thinking about dunking on mine too. My fan base loves to see me fail.
Yeah, you know. But okay, how about length of the season, right? So 11 weeks here. We're at the end of it now. You guys are finished. Did that feel like a good length to you? Too long? Not long enough? What do you feel there? I'll start with you, EVW.
It was a sweet spot. Then again, like it was pretty quick. Time went by fast. I can't believe we're on playoffs already. But at the same time, I'm glad that this season can be over and a new season can start in a month or a month and a half or whenever the new season starts, because it wipes the slate clean. We can all regroup. People that don't want to commit anymore can drop out, because not everyone can commit for long periods of time like this. And we can start over again, start from zero wins, 0 losses, and see how we can do by improving our skills from this season to the next, or playing against new players. So I think it's a perfect length. It's a sweet spot.
What about you, Murphy?
It felt a little long personally. I don't know if that was because I did do the qualifiers. I think that was like early December maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe that felt like that kind of dragged it out a little more and was a part of the season. But I don't know. I mean, once a week, playing everyone once. Like I don't know what the alternatives are other than cutting that in half and doubling up every week.
Yeah, true. That wouldn't be good. How about you, Oshi?
No, I think it's good. I mean, it's only once a week, right? So I mean, you do it once a week, you get it in, you get it out, and it could run for as long as you want, I guess. I don't know. It's fine for me. I like it.
How about one kind of thing I was thinking, always thinking of ways to improve. What if, like, do you think it would be a hindrance or a good thing to have your guys' mics live while you're playing? And it's not like it's on all the time. We can kind of cut to you and like hear what you're saying. Because sometimes, Eric, I know you're great. You have great reactions to things sometimes, and Oshi, you do as well. Murphy is more. You're kind of on business all the time. But do you think that'd be a good idea or a bad idea? Would it make you kind of worry about being entertaining? What do you think about that, Oshi?
Oh, I think it'd be great. I know a lot of people ask, why can't we hear you guys? Why can't we hear you guys? I know it'd probably make it a little bit more difficult for commentating, which would be something that would have to work around. But yeah, I think it'd be great.
What about you, Murphy?
I'm on the other side. I mean, like, I'm not going to have chat open. Like, let's say we're doing it live. I'm not going to be interacting with chat in case they're watching the other side and trying to give tips or anything like that. So I'm not interacting with anyone. I'm not going to really be talking to myself. And I feel like I'd almost like try to play it up and have something to say if my mic was going to be live. So I kind of like the idea that it's very rare that I get to stream or do anything online without interacting. So it's kind of a nice change of pace for me.
What about you, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it. I do a lot of solo videos where I'm just a guy talking in a room by myself. And I know people would like to interact with us, but at the same time, the commentating, it would be impossible. Like, there's no way to do it. And I really enjoy listening to the commentators talk to us. I mean, there are some interesting things like I would love to say because I could explain what I'm doing. There are often times when, not often, just sometimes, like, a commentator won't pick up on a certain cue about why I made a certain decision. And then I could just explain like what I'm doing. Oh, I'm going to skip this level because of this and this and this. And I could explain. But at the same time, I mean, the commentators, you guys do a fantastic job. Like, it's mostly like really good work. And we, with us talking, it wouldn't work, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess one thing might be cool was like in between games interviews, I guess, like 10 seconds, but it's kind of a lot of work for not a lot of payoff, I guess. But
like,
just
one of the most fun matches I had actually was against Dansta, and Dansta told me, he said, "Hey, want a voice chat?" And I was like, what? I was like, okay, sure. Like, I've never done that. And it was only my second game. I was like, do people do this? He's like, no, man, you're the only one who said he wanted to. I was like, oh, okay, let's give it a shot. But it was mildly distracting at times. He was like, whoa, man, I died here. And I was like, oh, and it was throwing me off too. And like, yeah, it was a different game for sure.
Shout out to Dansta.
Yeah.
So, how about then, if, like you mentioned earlier, I forget who mentioned it, but you don't know where your competitor is doing or how they're doing at the moment, right? Do you think that is a negative or positive? Would you like to know how the other player is doing? Like with constant Discord updates, or would that be kind of annoying? Do you think? Anyone could jump in for this one.
I think last season it was necessary.
Yeah,
it was still stressful. But I don't want to know where my opponent is.
Okay.
I do not know.
Same here. Oshi and I kicked off the season we played, and we counted like clears and stuff in the chat while we were going. And I was like, this is so weird, dude. Like, I don't want to know what you're doing, because it completely changes your mentality of where you're at and how you're going to handle things. So you're going to speed up because you see that they're ahead, or get lackadaisical because maybe you're ahead. I don't want to know at all.
Yeah. I'm totally on that. I don't like that.
Same, Eric?
Yeah, I think it would add to the tilt factor a lot. So I think it's good that you keep it a secret.
Yeah, like the classic, when you go to the level and you see the world record as your competitor, that's gotta be tough.
It's harsh. When you think about it, you're like, well, they're already 3 levels ahead. I guess I mean, we'll just quit.
Maybe, or they skipped, but you don't know. But just that one little mental factor could make a difference.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so let's get into it here. We got about 10 minutes left before the playoffs start. Murphy going up against Trans Shoujo. It's going to be a great matchup here. So we go to best of 5. Right? Now that changes things a little bit right there, because, like I said, I think upsets are going to be even more rare. Last year, though, I want to say we did have 2 legitimate upsets. first round, so first and second round, Bismuth over Chocobo, Blue Chocobo, great competitor, who Oshi's going to have to play here, and Slade over IPK, which was just, that's a stunner of all sorts here. So best of 5 format, upset, you guys know the competitors, you guys know the matchups. Any upsets coming this year, yes or no? Just give me a prediction.
Yeah, obviously me versus Blue Choco, 100%. I'm gonna see the Beast in the finals.
There you go.
And
Oshi
then there's
calling
gonna
it
be an
hot.
upset.
Well, I was going to say you weren't going to see Beast in the finals because I was going to take him out in the second round, but either way, I guess is fine.
Oh, I love this. Eric, what do you
I guess
think?
I won't be meeting him in the third round then.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, statistically, mine and Dimitri's game is supposed to be the closest out of all the games. So I think I don't know if I win, if that's really considered an upset there, but I think it's going to be a good game. I'm just really excited to play it tomorrow. And then after that, if I do somehow manage to beat Dimitri, who's a very skilled player, then it's going to be, I forget who Little Curbs is playing, but Little Curbs will be the next one that I play. And then it's just back to the mentality of, well, Eric, you had fun, right?
Yeah. That's the way to be for sure. But, hopefully one of you guys can make it happen. That'd be awesome. Oshi, go ahead.
I was just saying, I would love to see a really wicked upset, though. I would love to see it. Because, I mean, I feel like it's going to be the same 2 finalists as last year.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Shade being thrown on IPK here, maybe.
I mean, any upset's really
IPK's
possible.
I would love to see IPK take it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
I'd love to see
my
you
big
take
upset. Okay, I want to see IPK take it. If I don't take it, then I want to see IPK. Take it.
That was gonna be my next question, actually. So if you don't take it, Oshi says he's on the IPK is his horse here. Murphy, what about you? If you don't take it and EVW doesn't take it and Oshi doesn't take it, I'm gonna take those options out. Who is your horse? Who do you predict to win this thing?
I'd say Osh, not just because he's here, but he's probably the one that I know personally the most, and he's adorable, so that helps.
There you go. Ignoring the restrictions, picking Oshi anyway. Oshi, IPK, EVW. You're next.
Who do I think's going to win it? I don't know.
If it's not you.
The top tier players are all really skilled. I don't want to pick favorites, but the one who kicked my butt the hardest was Enviosity. So why don't I just go with Enviosity?
There you go, guys. We got Enviosity, we got IPK, and we got Oshi here. That's good. So what about the playing though? When I want to ask you guys here, that I have you here, do you ever feel like, well, I'm doing good? Like, does that feeling ever cross your mind, or is it always like, hey, I'm not doing well here, I gotta go faster? Like, is there ever a feeling of, yeah, I'm doing good today? Does that happen?
Yeah,
Sure, yeah.
especially in the rounds when I lose. But it happens. You're like, yeah, I'm doing. I think there was actually a particular set of rounds against the Beast, and I was like, whoa, man, like I'm doing good. I got a chance at this. Like this is happening. Then I still got like smoked by like 3 levels. I was like,
That's demoralizing. That happened with me. I don't know what got into Panga, but he had just amazing rounds against me, and I had like 8 clears. I was like, oh man, that's good. Me and Panga were similar in the rankings. 8 levels cleared. I did good, and it's like 9 or 10. I was like, oh god damn, what? No, and that's demoralizing when that happens, right?
There you go.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was gonna say.
Here, and you get just cut down, and
I was gonna say almost any time that I did feel like, oh, this is nice, I'm in the zone here, we're flowing. It was either overtime or I lost. Like I don't know.
Well, there you go. Hopefully you get some better results coming up in the overtime. But I see we're up against the clock here. I do want to cut this short, I guess. Really, thanks you guys for your time here. Wish you the best of luck. Obviously, I got all the matchups here on the screen so everyone can see who you guys are playing. And yeah, good luck to everybody. We're going to start here. Next up, coming up, is Murphy versus Shoujo. And yeah, good luck to Murphy here. Since you're on the chat, we got to say good luck to you here. We're in your corner for that
Good
match,
luck,
if nothing
Murph.
else. And
Thanks everyone.
yeah, more action coming up tomorrow, obviously. Oshi's playing tomorrow. EVW's playing tomorrow. EVW's playing after Murphy, excuse me. So stay tuned for that one. And yeah, thanks to guys, and enjoy the rest of the season. Huge thanks to you 3 again. And yeah, stay hype, guys.
Thanks,
Peace.
guys. Good luck.
Cheers.
Have fun.